we go. On Saturday, December 16th, 2023, the weather's to be mostly sunny with a high of 47 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight's weather is to be mostly cloudy with a low of 41 degrees. The sun has risen at 7. The sun will rise that day at 7:04 a.m. and will set at 4:15 p.m. that day. Today, we'll be discussing the Darkest KND episode ever conceived that I have ever seen. That it was POP, P-O-A-P, Preteens and Adolescents Opposing Prohibition, which ironically is themed for not only contraband by illegal drinking, only soft drinks, sodas, root beers, etc. being barred for kids to consume, but also addiction and child-based xenophobic racist nationalism and fascism. The episode of KND, KND for short, starts off with Hoagie, what's his last name, aka number 2, attending an underground drinking club for children like himself, hidden from the watchful eyes of adulthood in general, because somehow they've barred kids in general from consuming, distributing, and buying soft drinks. From root beer to soda. It homages and spoofs the real-life era of prohibition in the United States dating back to the 20s through 30s, where all booze between distribution and consumerism was outlawed on a national scale. Number 2 uses a password to get in. Lime Ricky, which is named after the famed sparkling drink beverage inside the club. He's well known by other children, especially the kind-hearted child bartender who slides him an envelope train card in exchange for, his friends secretly getting in their usual shipment of soft drinks secretly. Adolescents are joyously, democratically drinking various soft drink types while hidden from all adults that unjustly have forbidden them from consuming it while underage. As number 2 pays off the debt of compensation for the shipment of soft drinks being covertly delivered as he speaks. He gets a freely enacted frosted toast, thus in the house, but the good times are horribly cut short when bodily armored adult soldiers barge into the club and with socialist nationalist brute force, led by a Frenchman in a white and dark black attire, parodying Adolf of the Nazi Empire during World War II. And the Holocaust in 1939 to 1945. Numerous children are cruelly being collected by force while the man named Mr. Fitz tastes a literal mug of root beer that he proudly swipes from Hoagie. The raid on the literal and figurative soft drink soda club reminds us of the 1930s-40s rise of the Nazi Empire, resulting in both the Second World War and the Holocaust, in which Adolf and his rancidly racist German regime of Nazi forces imprisoned, tortured, and exterminated millions of Jewish Euros, regardless of gender and age group. Compared to this, however, Mr. Fizz does not have a toothbrush-type mustache like Adolf, but a foreign French-styled split type of mustache at this. He leads a nationalist, socialist, fascist regime of child discriminatory racists against adolescents ages 12 or below. Therefore, he declares that child victims of the racist raid underage should be drinking soda at the time, and other soft drink beverages, or so he and his kind think. For in their sickening and sadist minds, the drinking age for children is 13 and up, legally speaking. While his nationalist forces detain the so-called underage drinkers, including Hoagie, he confines the KND operative child to a questioning room to expel him from the whereabouts of the shipment and brewing facilities of all soft drinks used by children throughout. Hoagie refuses to expose such whereabouts, and Mr. Fizz exposes some leverage he could use against him, in which case his fellow KND allies, comrades, kidrads, including their leader number 1, aka Nigel Uno, leaving the 5 main KND operatives alone in the questioning room to consume some soft drink, only because it calms his nerves, and he's an adult himself. The monstrously Marxist Mr. Fizz knows Hoagie has covertly smuggled contraband, sold, and deliberately, with good reason, distributed over 20,000 gallons of so-called illegal drink-based contraband somehow. The team manages to escape the room, only for Fizz to, at the last second, take notice of this and alert his security forces to hunt down and destroy them, literally. They evade capture again, this time by hiding in what they assumed at first is a vacant and dark spare room blue closet, but turned out then to be an atrocious bottling facility that is literally bottling up adolescents as very putrid penance for their disobedience in purposely consuming root beer and other soft drink beverages behind adults' backs. What is this, seriously? Nazi Germany? Mr. Fizz reappears and tells them that before he came along, adolescents were almost out of control for their rebellious behaviors and actions. One of them that he refers to out of xenophobic racist philosophy against adolescents is consumingly getting hooked on caffeine and other types of unhealthy drinks, i.e. non-natural energy drinks like Red Bull. Following a brief but epic battle with Mr. Fizz in his barrel-themed battle suit, ripping off Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast 1991-2017, the four main Kisnek Door operatives are then bottled up, and Hoagie is the last one standing, deliberately pulls a lever back and forth with Fizz on the conveyor belt at the time, moving him rapidly until he explodes his sober overfilling battle suit, literally, and is forced to by Hoagie, armed at the teeth at the time, to free all the drinks-consuming adolescents, innocents, that he's unjustly imprisoned and tortured from the very beginning, while seeking out his four KND comrades, or Kid Rads, again. It ends the episode on a very positive note this way. It's most anti-famed for its overall dark thematic content, from fascist, racist, xenophobic, nationalism, socialism, to addiction, to drinking, to immoral justice through prohibition of adolescents consuming soft drinks, mainly root beer, despite being so-called underage, because they are drinking is entirely nothing more than anti-booze at the lawful and democratic finest. Definitely overall, unlike in the episode, in reality, the only moral and reasonably fair drinking age mandated by law these days is booze, and the legal age for the consumption of it is 21 and up. Thanks for stopping by.